Hi people, you're welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing us how to cut and sew this simple tube top. It has a peplum attached to the waistline and a strap to the neckline. So let's get started. Now before you can draft this, you need to know how to draft a basic bodice. You can download the video from our website, or I will drop the link to our website and the one I posted on YouTube here in the description box for us to watch. Okay, so this is my basic bodice pattern here. The length of the front pattern is 16, the back is 14, and the width of my dart is 2 inches. Okay, so now first thing is to determine the depth of the neckline for the tube top. So from the shoulder line, I will come down by at least 4 inches. Okay, yeah, so I'm coming down by 4 inches. So this 4 inch. Then because it's a tube, you have to link it directly to the chest line. So I'll be using my ruler. So you can use the curved part of your ruler, or you can use the straight part of the ruler. It depends on the outcome you want. So I'm using the straight part of my ruler to link it to the armhole. Okay, so I'll just draw the line like so, and I'll just use curve it in like that. Now this part is unwanted, we don't need that part anymore. Then because it's a tube, it's only necessary for you to tighten up the bust area. So I'm marking 3/4 1 inch on both sides of that line. Then I'll link it to the mark above my bust point. So I suggest you watch the basic body tutorial first so that you can know how we arrived at this. So I'm just shading that part out. Then I'll just blend up. I'll blend up like so with my French curve. Okay, so that's pretty much about the front pattern. Then of course the back, we're using the chest line. Okay, and we just cut out, right? So first let me separate the front and back patterns. Now some of you might want to ask that, but the front is longer than the back. Yes, by the time you fold the bust darts to become equal. Now I want to fold the darts around the style line. So once you fold the darts, okay, there's tendency for the style line to be displaced. So you still need to use a ruler or a curved ruler to like correct it back. Okay, so the reason why we always blend or we always through the bust area is so that when you wear it, you're not struggling to pull the top up, or you don't have any form of gaping basically. So that's the reason we do that. Now I can cut out. So that I'll just separate this into my center front piece and the side piece, right? So I'm just cutting out. So I've taken out the center front. Now for the side, I'm also going to cut out this way. Then do not forget to close your bust dart, but I'm just still trimming off the darts on the waistline and at the top part too. Okay, I'm just trimming off like so. Now I can open up my bust dart and I will close it. So when I do all of this, I will be transferring all of them to my fabric. And some of you might want to ask, what about seam allowance? I usually add my seam allowance when I'm transferring my pattern to the fabric. You could add yours on the pattern paper. It depends on what works for you, but I always prefer to add mine on the fabric. So I'm just trying to close my bust dart this way. Okay, so you need a masking tape to close that, and then you still need to through the side seam. You can see that the side seam, the lines are shifted a little because of the bust dart. I'll just through this part here. So in case you don't know, we have lots and lots of sewing courses on our website www.wearlala.com. Okay, wear as in WEAR, lala as in LALA. We have lots of sewing courses on our website. Okay, so back to our tutorial. This is the front. Okay, so for the back, it's pretty simple. I'll just cut out, the unwanted parts. Okay, it's a tube, so obviously I'm going to cut the chest line like so. And this is my zipper, and of course the waistline. So I'm just cutting out. Now, you may or may not cut out the dart if you want to. If you don't want to cut out the dart, it means you're going to sew the dart on the fabric. But if you want to cut it out, then you need to add seam allowance after cutting out. So it depends. This is the back. So I'll just leave it. I won't cut it out. I'll just sew the dart on the fabric. Okay. So always label your patterns so that when you cut them out, they don't look alike or you get confused. So this is my front piece, the back together. So now we'll just quickly cut out the peplum. For the peplum, we're cutting out a full circle. So to cut a full circle peplum, you're going to fold your paper into two, like that. You fold, and then you're still going to fold the second time. So this is the first fold here, and then you have your second fold this way. And you have a second fold this way. Now for a full circle, the radius of a full circle is your waist circumference divided by 6.28. Okay, but so because the peplum has splits, you have to increase the waist circumference. So my original waist is 30. I can make it probably 36, or 40, whichever, but I'm doing 36. So 36 divided by 6.28 is 2 pi. So my radius is approximately, I think, 6 thereabout. I think 6 thereabout. So this is my radius, 6. So I'll measure the radius out first. You can do this directly on your fabric, please. Okay, you just put the fabric into a square like I've done. So this is my radius. I'm marking the radius out like so. Yeah, so this is radius. Then you can now mark the length of the peplum you want to work with. So I'm just going to do 6 inches. You can make yours longer. Okay, so automatically the flare is bigger than the waist circumference. Okay, because we want to add pleats. But if you don't want pleats to your own, use your original waist measurements to calculate the radius. I'll just cut out. After cutting out, I'll go ahead and transfer all my patterns to my fabric, both the bodice, the back bodice, the front bodice, and the peplum. The top does not have a sleeve, so we're free from sleeve issues. Now, like I said previously, we have lots and lots of sewing courses on our websites, and the courses on our website are way more detailed than what we have here on YouTube. It's, what we're giving out here on YouTube is like, say, 30%. It's not like the website courses. So here I've already cut out my peplum on my fabric and on my lining. Okay, so you can see that I added seam allowance to the upper part and the lower parts. Okay, then of course I also have my bodice here. This is my bodice front. Yeah, the back is somewhere. Now because it's a tube, we need to give you some form of reinforcement. So I'm adding wording to the whole of my front bodice. Yes, I'm adding wording, the very thick one, aside the lining. Okay, so I'm just still showing us to have a better view. So now I'll go ahead to join my body together, like so, all the front pieces together. Fabric separate, lining separate. That's how I sew in, but you could just sew the conventional way. Okay, but I always want my sewing to be very neat. So I have my front bodice here already sewn. Now I'll be sewing it with the back, side seam to side seam. Now take note, everything I'm doing here, I'm also doing it for the lining. Okay, now this is what my wording looks like. You can see that I padded the whole front bodice just to give it structure because there's no sleeve. Now I'll go ahead to add the peplum to the waistline. So like I said, the peplum is already longer than the bodice itself. Okay, so you have space to add pleats. So I'm just pinning it together, and like I said previously, everything I'm doing here, repeating the same thing for the lining. Okay, so I'm just spinning, and I'll just create my pleats. I'll create my pleats. Okay, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine to sew it. So let me just do that and show us what it looks like. Okay, yeah, so this is what it looks like so far. So good. And this is my lining. Pardon me, I had to use two different colors of lining. I didn't know I ran out of black lining. So, and I always line my dresses with satin. Yeah, so I'm adding my straps to the very tip of my top. Okay, it's going to be tied around your neck, so you don't need any specific measurements for that. So I'm just pinning the straps to the neckline, to the very tip. Then I will use my lining to turn the whole neckline, starting from the center back all through to the front and ending on the other side of the center back. Okay, so this is my lining here. So like I said, I used two different colors of lining because I ran out of material. So also half inch, half inch. Then coming to the hemline, you want to reduce the length of the lining by half inch and also turn the hemline with half inch seam allowance. Okay, so when you do that, you find out that part of the fabric folds in. So that's the purpose of reducing the lining. Now go ahead to fix my zipper, and voila, we're done. So this is what the top looks like. It's actually the print for me, so beautiful, so lovely. Now I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.